Another important type of solutions is the solid liquid system, wherein solute is non-volatile solute and it is a solid solute, and solvent is actually the liquid. So this also gives rise to liquid solution, because naturally the state of the solution is governed by the solvent. So now, for example, we can take solution of glucose, urea, sugar, and salt, like that. So this solution is going to have solid as a solute. Now the vapor pressure of this particular system will be quite different from those of the liquid solution or even the pure solvent. So generally what happens when we take a pure solvent, uh, there is certain degree of vaporization at a given temperature. So because at the surface only solvent molecules are in contact with the atmosphere, so as a consequence what happens, there is certain degree of vaporization. Now imagine that I have replaced a pure solvent by a solution. Now say there are solvent particles, and along with solvent particles there will be surely some solute particles also. Say like this, there are some solute particles also. Now the point is, these solute particles do not vaporize because they are non-volatile in nature. So only vaporization will be of the solvent molecule. Now what we can expect? Naturally, because here in case of pure solvent, so this is actually pure solvent. So this is pure solvent, this is solution of solid in liquid. So now naturally what happens is that pure solvent having a higher extent of vaporization will have much higher vapor pressure compared to the case where we have the solution, because in case of solution the vapor pressure is purely due to solvent alone. So this is what is observed when we have a solid liquid system. So here we observe that in case of pure solvent, if it is pure solvent, then we have say P1 naught. This is going to be the vapor pressure, and this will be generally higher, than P1, where P1 is actually vapor pressure of solution. So basically what happens in solution is very simple. The total surface area which is in contact with the atmosphere is not only occupied by the solvent molecule but also solute molecule. But the solute molecule does not want to go to the vapor phase. So naturally the rate of vaporization also will be low, and also vapor pressure will naturally decrease because of the non-volatile solute. So this actually this decrease of vapor pressure due to presence of non-volatile solute is also very important, which we will be taking up in upcoming videos. Now here this actually does not depend upon nature of solute. So irrespective of nature of solute, the decrease will always remain same, because it only has to do with the number of particles here. So in a binary solution having two components, say x1 is the mole fraction of solvent and x2 is mole fraction of solute. If the solute is non-volatile like this, then total pressure is going to be P1 only, because the partial pressure of the vapor is purely due to the solvent, and that P1 is proportional to x1. So this will be equal to x1 into P1 naught. So as a consequence, if we see the graph will become a straight line like this. Say this is P1 naught. So here it's 1, here it is 0. This is actually x1, mole fraction of the solvent. So this is actually the binary solution case, and this is Raoult's law for such a solution. So it's indicating that if a solution obeys Raoult's law for all concentration, its vapor pressure would vary linearly from 0 to the vapor pressure of the pure solvent. So this case is when you have pure solvent only, so that will have maximum vapor pressure. With increase in the mole fraction of the solute, the mole fraction of solvent will reduce. So naturally the total vapor pressure also will reduce. So that is the conclusion from this discussion. Thank you.